Look at this, Kevin. Look at the collection this one's got. You ain't got nothing compared to this woman. This is what we gotta do in New England. Because we can't do anything fun. You just need to get a big old greenhouse, Kevin, and just stay in there all day. Kevin, we need otters for downstairs, too. So when you... millions of dollars, sir. You need to get some otters.
What's wrong with my King Cobra? I noticed that on his flanks, down the side of his body, almost if they had a lateral line all the way down the side, there were these kind of bumps, and a whole bunch of liquid came out. Now that's very concerning for me. We don't know what it is. We've done some research on it. It could be a parasite, it could be blisters that the snakes get, which are caused by a whole bunch of stuff. You can see one of these blisters now kind of moves almost. There's the bump. There we go. Look at that liquid coming out.
Yes.
Look at that. 0.7 of a mil came out of that one little blister, whatever that thing is. There's another one over here. Isn't it a ridiculous problem to have? So I'm asking all of those out there in the snake world, in the snake community, particularly those who have had experience with snakes that had these symptoms. Please, guys, don't flood our emails with, it might be this, it might be that. Only if you've got some knowledge of what you think this could be, please let us know. We need to know, is it contagious? It's easy to say, oh, just take them to a vet. No vet in KwaZulu-Natal will see this snake.
See, I've never done that. Hey, Donnie, have you ever done calls on?
Yes.
Yeah, but I haven't seen. I want to make sure that.
Call him. He's probably costing you money right now.
I missed the call. All right, Dingo, you want to try it again? All right. Yes, Evil Morph God Sunshine. Yes. Thank you. All right, bye. All right, you're gonna do it.
Kevin McCurley just missed a call from Dingo Dinkelman. Like, that's what happens to your calls, guys. Don't ever try to call Kevin.
He looks perfect. And so he's on.
He's just been drinking.
He's pretty well behaved too.
Yeah, my boy's okay. It's my female that's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some normal, kings that are pretty good, but Lilith is a demon. I just think a lot of bad things happened to Lilith before I got her.
Hello everyone, Dingo here, and I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Kevin and the team over there at Nerd. You've been really helpful. Spent 45 minutes the other night on the phone call or video call giving me advice on how to treat big Goliath here. And it's really important that we collaborate together, all of us guys who are involved with reptiles, who care about these magnificent animals. I'm going to get into treating Goliath now with some of the medication that Kevin has suggested we use. But hell of a good guy, you've been really helpful. Thanks so much, all the way from South Africa out to the US of A.
Who did we talk to on the phone?
We just talked to Dingo Dinkelman. I just want to make sure I get this right. Hi, Dingo.
You're a little new to his channel, right? But
actually, I've seen Dingo stuff before, and his venomous keeping. So I was contacted by one of his fans to ask me to get into contact with Dingo regarding his big Malaysian king cobra. So I went over and looked at his video. He was having problems with a very large king named Goliath, and Goliath was doing some things that were noteworthy that was worrisome for Dingo. And one of the things we're noticing was he was getting these little pockets along his side that you could basically squeeze a very clear, not very viscous, very liquidy lymph out of. That is interesting. It's interesting, and we see a lot of weird things with animals. I don't think I've quite seen that. But it's pretty much, it's how things manifest, how problems manifest, and what becomes the thing that we know. What, like we see something, what is finally the problem? So the animal's behaving in a very normal fashion. It's, other than these little raised areas along its side, it would actually appear normal. But he noted something, he took it out, he aspirated, so he took this little bubble under the skin along the sides, aspirated, and he got out this clear fluid. And generally this is likely an indicator that something's going wrong. The capillaries, the blood vessels are not managing fluids properly because there's some kind of systemic problem. So that means a body organ system failure, or the beginning of that. So I was noting some of this on his video, and then I did reach out to him a little bit on the video just so I could get in contact with him. We've now since corresponded via emails, and then Donny thought this was a great idea to let's talk about some of these things and possible ways to find a solution and actually fix Goliath. So
How long were you on a video call with him, Kevin? It's pretty long.
quite a while. Dingo and I were chit-chatting about other stuff, and he's actually a really nice guy. Obviously has a lot of talent.
So quite charming. I thought he was.
I
Great.
thought he was too. Just listening to his accent
Yes.
is wonderful. I'm a sucker for anything that sounds
Gives him credibility.
non-American. Yes, he sounds way smarter than I am. So it's really great. So no, it was good. So go check out Dinkelman'S channel on YouTube. There's a lot of cool stuff there. Right now, we literally just have an animal that something's wrong. We know something's wrong, but exactly what it is, we're gonna actually have to guess. So right now, I'm just kind of have to try to stabilize things. So the most important thing we're gonna do right now is we went over some antibiotic choices, and the antibiotic that I settled on is gonna be amikacin. It's very powerful. It's not used greatly nowadays, and it's used intramuscularly every 72 hours. And it's an aminoglide. So if an animal was in a state of duress as far as dehydration, is really in rough shape, where I think the kidneys are being challenged, and then just making sure that there's proper fluid management, I might not pick an aminoglide like amikacin, gentamicin. I might pick like a cephalosporin or something like that. Also depends if we're dealing with the upper respiratory, if we're dealing with pneumonia, dealing with the wounds, whatever. So right now I just want to do a systemic antibiotic, and I'm going to choose amikacin. Goliath weighs 22 pounds, so that is 10 kilograms. So we're going to convert pounds 2 kilograms by taking 22 pounds, dividing it by 2.2 equals 10 kilograms. So that's really good. And the amikacin dose, the loading dose of amikacin is going to be 5 milligram per kilogram. And I need to find out what his ml and cc dilution is. But this is going to be treated every 72 hours. This is going to be treated the first third of the body. We're going to want it up towards the head. So maybe, big 14-foot king cobra. We're going to say that's a good 2 foot or so behind, 2 foot to maybe 3 foot behind. And what we want to do is we want to get it towards the front of the body, away from the kidneys, because the kidneys are your blood filter. So we're going to intramuscular, so we're going to alternate our injection site on each side of the dorsal area into the muscle, and we're going to intermuscular, so it's like a 45-degree angle where we're going to take that syringe. We're going to go, if the head's pointing this way, we're going to go like this at a 45-degree angle into the muscle, boom. We want to get this animal set up where it has some resistance to maybe an ongoing bacterial problem. And it's very important, remember, the immune response must be happening. So we want to make sure always we're managing proper husbandry, and Dingo is definitely managing husbandry. Everything is normal.
Hello guys, Dingo here. Massive shout out to my man Kevin. Kevin has been absolutely incredible in helping us out with Goliath. We're starting his first course of medication this morning, so I'm just going to grab Goliath out. But it's all about, we need collaboration with people around the world. And when you've got a big, impressive, special animal like Goliath over here, it helps. There's a lot of risk, when you're treating animals like this. And nobody knows everything, and that's what's been so great. I appreciate it so much, the help from Kevin and other guys around the world who have weighed in, helped me out here, even converting measurements into milliliters and stuff that they're not usually using overseas not using a metric system. I think what I'm going to do, I don't have a lot of hands on me today. I'm going to inject him right here, and then we're also going to tube him some flagell down his throat. Kevin will tell you more about that in a moment. Now, it's not the easiest thing in the world treating a snake like this on your own. So Want to be quite careful. Fortunately, he's so big and strong, doesn't react to a needle going into him. Or the medication, that's the antibiotic going in.
So we're gonna hit it with amikacin every 72 hours. And the next thing we're gonna do, we're actually gonna hit this guy with some metronidazole, which is brand name Flagyl. And this is gonna help deal with protozoa load. And it's also, once again, it's also another bactericidal agent. And it often will hit different bacterium that's different than the aminoglides. So the two, as a collaborative effort, those two things are a very good standardized way to start addressing the problems. But I think quite likely the underlying problem is probably potentially a parasitic load. And when we're talking about parasites, I'm not interested so much in roundworms and ascarids and stuff. Normally would be treated with fenbendazole. I'm going to want to treat it with something called albendazole, whatever the brand name is. And that's really good because it deals with trematodes, it deals with flukes, and it deals with cestodes. And remember, king cobras are snake eaters. So a lot of times when we're starting out king cobras, they're eating some snake that could have its own parasite load, and then that snake now ingests it, and some of those parasites can now be transferred to the animal that's eating it. And then long term, those parasites could rear their ugly head and cause a problem for this animal. Initially, maybe it could be years that the animal's doing fine, and then suddenly something gets a little bit out of whack. And maybe in this case, things are a little bit out of whack. So then once we get the amikacin going, and we get the Flagyl going, we're gonna follow up with a matter of days, and we're gonna start hitting with albendazole, and we're gonna dose that out. I'm gonna kind of do a lighter dose. A couple things to note, guys. King cobra is a colubrid. It has a fast metabolism. It really just speeds through everything. We're gonna have a faster metabolism. If I use something like metronidazole, and let's say like a python dose on standard python boa would be 125 milligram per kilogram. But with a colubrid, like a big king cobra, something like that, very fast metabolism, I'm gonna reduce their metronidazole dose down to anywhere from 50 to 75 milligrams. I'm gonna do it once. Donnie's camera's getting heavy.
I'm trying to keep my camera steady.
Kevin, this is so lame. All right.
You can tell by my body language?
Yeah. God, dude, shut up. Who cares what the dose is? Just give it a pill.
Oh, that's not how I talk, but all right.
So we want to be careful with metronidazole because there is toxicity. Any kind of drug in too much of an amount can be toxic. Metronidazole can definitely be toxic, and so I want to be really careful. This is not my animal. It's a very important animal to somebody else. I don't want to offer an overzealous approach in trying to help give this guy some information to help deal with it. But I think we're going to start with this. I'm actually excited to see if any of this stuff actually ends up working. And I would actually expect there's probably a really good chance we can actually correct this problem. And maybe if we fast forward 10 days from now, things might be looking a lot better.
And we're going to give him his Flagyl now as well. I'm going to put that right down as far as I can. There we go. Woohoo! Flagyl in. And there we go. King Cobra back in this enclosure. Kevin and the team at Nerd, thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate it. And we'll keep you updated on the progress of beautiful Goliath.
As a topic, let's go. What is a protozoan infection? How to identify a protozoan infection, being the results of what the protozoan infection causes as far as symptoms. Symptoms, what are the symptoms of regurgitation? You feed your pet boa a mouse and then a day later it throws it up. Not because you disturbed it, but actually just threw it up. Feed it again maybe and it throws up again. These are really good indicators that there's a GI problem, which is the gastrointestinal system. It means that something's out of whack. So you have this microbial flora, which is also full of things like protozoa, amoeba, single-celled little organisms in normal amounts are not really a problem, and they're part of generally a healthy flora, but they get out of whack. But it is indeed a parasite. So a lot of times we need to step in and then hit that with something like metronidazole, which actually help knock those way back. But maybe we should just do a video exactly on protozoan infections, how to identify it, how to alleviate, and whatever's going on. And then maybe do another one, upper respiratory infections, some of the basic things. If you guys want to hear about that stuff, and I think there's a bunch of you that do, but is it 10 of you that want to hear it, or is it 7 of you? Or is it 12 of you? I don't know.
Is 12 enough? Is 12 good enough for you? 12's good, right?
We like our audience. I do, because you guys are very, very kind. And I do try to answer a lot of your comments, but you guys are really nice. So that's great. And I like to know that we're making a difference. So continue with all that commentary.
All right.
All right.
If you get a comment from Kevin and it's signed K, that's Kevin.
Yeah, if it just says ha, K, or you're kind, or whatever, that's me. But a lot of times I'm like smiling or whatever because you guys say these nice things. But if you see K, and then if you don't see a K, it can still be me, and I'm just trying to pretend it's like Donny. And if I insult you, that's Donny.
It's 100% me, yeah. I gotta turn my camera on, dude.
You didn't turn your camera on.